When I first started creating goals for my business, it was a disaster. Tell me if you relate to this, because I did not know what a good goal to set was. The goals that I set were either too ambitious, not ambitious enough, or I didn't even know what goals that I wanted to set in the first place. Now that I've been doing this for a few years, I find it easier to set goals for myself, and I have set up systems in place to make sure that I actually reach those goals. The first thing you need to remember is that your goals can change. I set a goal for myself last year that I wanted to start a podcast within the next year, but as the year went on, I realized this isn't one of the things that I even really want to do. And I think that's something that holds us back from setting our goals. We either think the goals are set in stone, or we have goals we'd like to set, but we're too afraid that we're not going to reach them. That's something to think about as we go through this process of setting goals. Write down the goals that come to your mind, even if you think you might not reach them. Even if you think it might not be a goal that you want to actually reach within the next year. Because I'll be helping you plan them out and set up systems to give you a better chance at reaching all of your goals within the next year. When you start to set your goals, you want to first do a yearly business audit. You can do this by looking at how your business did in the last year. I'm going to give you a couple questions to answer here in a minute, but it's important to know that the more data that you have to pull from, the better you are going to get at setting your goals, because you'll know more of what to expect. If this happens to be your first year in your blogging business and you have no idea how to set your first year business goals, check out this video right here. But the more years you have to pull from, like if this is your second or third year in business, you can see how your growth has changed over the years, and you can set better goals based off of that. When doing this business audit, you want to look at certain measurable stats, like how much money did you make? How many page views did you get? How many blog posts did you publish? Whatever metrics you can measure, write those down. If you've kept track in years past, those numbers might also be good to know as well, so you can see growth year over year. Then you can begin to look deeper at the overall feel of your business. This is less about metrics and more about the satisfaction and quality of your work. Are you happy with the content that you're publishing? Does the topics you're writing about still fit in the direction that you want to go in? You can also look at what didn't go right as well. If one month went worse than the others in terms of views, what went wrong? Did you publish less? Did you promote less? Did you talk about topics fewer people cared about? And if you did publish less, how come? Was it bad time management? Was it outside stresses that we can't control, like school or work or family? All of these are important questions to ask ourselves, because if we can find out what went right in previous years, we can do more of that moving forward. And if we find out what went wrong in previous years, we can put up systems in place to prevent that from happening in the future. Once you have all this information, you're ready to set your goals for your business. I like to set up mine into two different categories: active goals and passive goals. Active goals are things that I can tangibly do, like post once a week on my blog. And passive goals are for things that I don't have much control over, like an amount of page views or followers. But my active goals, like posting once a week on my blog, can help me reach my passive goals, 1,000 page views a month, because by doing the active goals, I have a better chance at reaching the passive goals. So I am going to set my goals right now. So now that I have my goals set, I want to talk about how you can make sure that you are setting good goals, because there is such thing as a good goal and a bad goal. One of the things that I know people struggle with is setting attainable goals. How do you know what you are and are not capable of? This is why it helps to have data to pull from in years past, because you can look at those past years and see how well you did in your business, and that can help you predict where you are going to go in the future and how much you are going to grow. For example, if you're at 1,000 Instagram followers and in the last year or period of time that you are measuring, you only grew 200 Instagram followers, it is not realistic to say that in the next period of time you are going to grow to 5,000 Instagram followers. So maybe you can make your goal to get 300 followers, because it's more than you got last year, but it is not a huge jump from where you were. So like for me, for example, my goal is to reach 1,500 subscribers on YouTube. So right now at the time of recording, I am just below 500 subscribers. So basically my goal for next year is to gain 1,000 subscribers, so that would put me at the 1,500 mark. That I would consider to be a pretty realistic goal based off of the rate that I am growing. I don't want to set a goal that is too insane, like get 5,000 subscribers, because that's likely something that is not going to happen when you are a small creator like I am. And this goal that I've set is still a little bit higher than I'm comfortable with. What I would be comfortable setting would be growing to 1,000 subscribers within the next year. But the reason that I don't set my goal to get to 1,000 followers within the next year is because that goal, in my opinion, is too small. The reason I say this is because you want to set goals that are going to push you. There is a fine line between setting a goal that is super attainable and setting a goal that is just barely out of your reach. Next, you're going to prioritize your goals. What do you need to focus on first? Something like reach 5,000 followers on Instagram is not one of the first goals that you want to focus focus on, especially if it is a goal that you are far away from. You have the entire year to go and reach that goal. But post once a week on your blog may be a goal that you want to prioritize because it is something that you are going to have to work on week in and week out. Pick out the most important goals that you set, the ones that is going to push your business forward and help grow your income and your business. Next, we are going to create a plan and set habits. And what I mean by this is we are going to take our bigger goals and break them down into smaller steps. But not only that, we also want to set up habits to reach those goals. After years of setting business goals and never reaching them, I realized that one of my issues with setting goals is I didn't actually do much to reach those goals. Tell me if you relate to this. You set a goal, you get so excited to reach it, you write it down in your planner, and then you close your planner and never look at that goal again. Because while reaching that goal sounds cool, if you don't actually do any steps to reach that goal, you're obviously not going to hit it. This is why we create habits. Let's take posting once a week on your blog as a goal again. It sounds like a good goal, right? But how do you actually achieve it? Maybe you can create a template that you use every single time you write a blog post. I have one for when I'm scripting out my YouTube videos, and it makes the process so much easier. Then you tell yourself you're gonna sit down once a week and start writing. Let's say Tuesday. Every Tuesday, you're gonna sit down and write a blog post, and then you make it a habit. Now that goal is gonna be easier to achieve because not only do you have a long-term goal down, but you've set up habits and systems in place to help you actually reach that goal. Setting long-term goals can be difficult because you never really know where you're going to be in another year from now or even 6 months from now. But if you want to learn more about goals, I suggest you check out this video right here. And make sure to like this video if you liked and subscribe to my channel down below if you're new here. And I'll see you next week. Bye!